Guys, so this video was requested because I wasn't sure whether to do it or not, and that is the whole story of my roommate from hell. And we'll start right at the beginning because you might not have been watching this channel for a while, but basically it was kind of an emergency sort of thing because at the time I was staying at a mate's house and there was one place I was meant to go, but they wanted a driving license as ID, and at that time I'd lost it. Bear in mind, I've lost about five, I'm not gonna lie, and they wouldn't take a birth certificate. So I'm just scrolling down on Gumtree, and I see this place, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna book a visit. So I booked the visit. Everything's all dandy and stuff. The only red flag that I wasn't a massive fan of is the fact that there was no lock on my door, but whatever. The guy seemed nice and everything, and then I decided, yeah, I'll take it, I'll move it. Obviously this was clearly a mistake. So when I first moved in, so I think I've said this before, but when I first moved in, I didn't use the oven straight away. I cleaned it out, which we'll get into the whole hygiene thing in a minute, because it wasn't very clean. Basically, it was like a build up of grease and everything. So I was scrubbing the hobs and the oven. I mean, there's so much you can do at the time, because obviously it was kind of I want to cook some food here. So later on, in the week, I did a proper deep clean. Which anyway, so apart from that, everything was fine. There's nothing there was no kind of red flags or anything like that until it was late and later on. So we'll talk about the cleaning and stuff now. So he never used to clean after himself, and it used to piss me off because obviously I'm from my parents' house, and she cleans as well. So, for example, if you spill something in the kitchen on the work surface, clean it up. I'll come back from being out coming, and it's not clean, and it's fuck's sake. Every time I cook something, or at the end of the day, I will make sure I you know, wipe the work surfaces and everything. He never did that. And that's another thing. I had to go out and buy my own cloths and my own antibacterial cleaner because he never used to. He used to think just cleaning the whole kitchen once a week was enough. But it's no, you need to clean the work surfaces every day. Just clean, you know what I mean? Just clean after yourself. That's all I ask. That is all I ask. Another thing he used to do, I mean, to be fair, it wasn't something where I necessarily cared because I didn't own the flat, but it would rot the floor. It would leave the bathroom floor wet. And because what he used to do, some people do this, I know Muslims do a lot, it's where they don't, there's a word for it, but it's where they clean their bum with water instead of with thingy. But he didn't used to do it in the bath, he used to do it on the floor, and he used to soak up the floor, and that's unhygienic anyway because it's water from his arse. But anyway, that was grim, which I'll get to another grim thing that used to happen. So that kind of proper them tiny little things were kind of annoying me. And then they started to build up. He had a tendency, now he talks so loud on the phone, so loud. He would come in at 11 o'clock in the evening and wake me up, and it used to fucking piss me off because it's fine by you work whatever, you decided to quit your job at DHL and to do kind of all these to to do Uber and to do Just Eat and stuff like that. But there's some people that do get up early, and it used to fucking piss me off. You know what I mean? There was no respect. That's what irritated me enough. So not only did I have him coming in at 11 o'clock, I also had the neighbours downstairs blasting music. It's no one had no fucking respect, but I expected him to kind of, be a little bit more respectful, seeing as someone is living in the flat. And that it used to just piss me off, which we'll get to even more. That used to piss me off. So that annoyed me. Now when I moved in, he said he would only have his kid over once a week, once every week. It turned out for 3 days, so it'd be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now I wouldn't mind if the kid wasn't spoiled. He's so spoiled. He makes so much noise. Wakes me up at 7 o'clock in the morning when I don't need to be waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Control your fucking child. All he did was cry. I will get into that in a minute because that kind of goes by my kind of payback sort of thing. But it was just an irritant, just which gets me on to another thing. He used to touch my not the kid, obviously. Well, the kid did, but okay, whatever. We'll get past that in a minute. He used to touch my stuff without asking. So, for example, one time I had a loaf of bread. If he'd asked me, can I borrow a slice or can I have a few slices? I probably would have said yes. Instead, he just helped himself. And then I had my boxing thing over, and he didn't give a shit. He did not give a shit. Like, cause basically, when you hit it, it makes a noise. It's obvious that someone's using that. And I heard that, and it pissed me off so much. I had to walk out the flat because otherwise, because his kid was there, and I didn't want to snap at his kid because it's not his kid. His dad's a fucking retard. But it's like, don't touch my stuff without, you know what I mean? Just don't. Just don't. Just don't touch my stuff without thingy. Another thing that used to piss me off, okay. For some reason, he always likes to store frozen food in the fridge, which you're not supposed to. And what used to happen, he used to have it really high, and it used to freeze my bottles of water and other stuff, my veg as well. I couldn't have fresh veg unless I could push them, unless there's room for it to push them forward. Otherwise, they'll fucking freeze because of this twat. And I put the I remember I put the changed the thingy to number 2, and he was like, oh, don't do that because I keep frozen. It's like, you're not supposed to keep, that's why you have a freezer. That's why you have a fucking freezer. Anyway, so with this kid, right, what happened one time is I woke up and get in the shower and get ready. This kid obviously epically missed the toilet. Instead of him cleaning it up, I think I filmed it. I think it's in a past vlog somewhere. But anyway, instead of cleaning it up, he left it there. And then I comes back and it's still there, and he's in the flat, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Clean your kid's piss off. I was like, oh my god, like, are you actually for real right now? You're just gonna leave that there? Fine. But anyway, that used to annoy me. So what actually happened as to why I left, I told him, short story, I told him the rent's going to be a week late, and he was like, no. And he basically locked me out. And bearing in mind, the next day, that time, I was supposed to be at work. So I was just fucking wandering the streets, freezing cold. And then I had to go to work the next day, obviously not having a shower. So hopefully I didn't stink too much. I have no idea. And then after that, because I wasn't sure if he'd left the key in the door by accident, but then I come back after work, he changed the lock, so that's when I had to go to my parents, and yeah, because at the time they thought I was staying with a friend. I wasn't. I was staying with him. Now this this is what gets to the kind of payback sort of thing. So first off, as I said, I told you really when he has a kid. He didn't tell me this because there was no way. If I'd known straight up, there was no chance I would have moved him. He says to me that child services are on his back. So this is from a past relationship. Now, I'm not being funny or anything, but usually social services don't get involved unless it's something serious. Like, he must have done something serious in his relationship for social service to get involved. And I'm just like, what the fuck did you do? Like, that's what is going in my head. I'm like, what the hell did you do? So what I thought that was really strange was the fact that that kid would always cry, like a non-stop cry, and I thought it was strange. You know when you have like a kind of like a thought, and after he said that, that thought kind of popped in my head. Like, I didn't necessarily think, maybe I just thought like it was strange. You know what I mean? It was strange. I know the kid was spoiled and half the time didn't listen to him, but you know what I mean, like something like sometimes ticks the back of your head. So I actually reported him to social services, and the second thing I did, I actually reported his landlord and said he was subletting. So I don't know what the rules are outside of the UK, but in the UK you're not allowed to advertise like flats, houses, rooms, whatever, in buildings that you don't own. That it's cast as subletting, and you can't do that because if the landlord finds out, you're fucked because you're making money off of them, if that makes any sense, off of their building. that sort of thing. Either way, you're not allowed to do that. So that's why I did. But yeah, I kind of just blocked him off everything. So I don't know what's happened, if anything's like backfired or anything like that. But that chapter is now ended. I'm now back at home. But during that time living there and obviously finding somewhere else, there was no hell's chance I was ever going to be able to afford to like rent on my own, and I don't think my mum is ever going to let me rent with anybody else unless I actually know them, which is a bit annoying, but I mean, that's what I mean, rent's just expensive, and I can't afford a deposit for a house because mortgages are a lot more cheaper than rent, but the deposit is too freaking high. So yeah, that is basically the whole story. I mean, Gumtree, Cinnamon, Gumtree, everybody at work, this girl at work keeps taking the piss. She thinks it's fucking hilarious. I mean, all I do now is laugh about it. But as my mum said, it could be fucking serious. Why would you move in with a bloke anyway? But that's her. I don't necessarily, unless I get like really bad vibes from that person, then yeah. But as I said, like first he seemed cool and everything like that, but then it turns out he just does not have any hygiene, rude as fuck. And that gets me to another thing, man. Oh my god. So when I locked out, I'd phoned the police, and the police were like, because I wasn't sure if it was a police matter, so I phoned 101, I think it's 101. And they were like, the woman on the phone was like, it's not really a police matter unless he doesn't actually let you get in to get your stuff. I was like, thanks for that. I was on the phone I was on hold for 45 minutes for them to say that. It fucking pissed me off. I was like, whatever. But I think they put it on record anyway. Anyway, so basically at the time my dad was obviously helping me take the stuff out. And he literally texted me so many times just because I was 5 minutes late, fucking threatening leaving the stuff out, threatening to phone the police because it's classed as vandalism. And I'm like, not fucking vandalism. I've left my stuff in there. It's not fucking vandalism. I was literally 5 minutes late. I was like, I can't deal with this dude. He's fucking rude as fuck. But then again, like, you know, actually I'm not going to say it because it may come across a little bit, you know, whatever. But anyway, he's from Egypt. If you kind of get the words, the vibe, which I'm gonna kind of thingy. But what was funny is about that, he would like try be verbal with me, but when I was around with my dad, he said shit. So he is fucking like, he's clearly a pussyhole. But anyway, it just, he's a dick. It's gone. It's over. It's just never want to see him again. I may end up bumping him because my new gym is literally off the road, well, near where, you know, he lives. But other than that, he's a dick, you know, absolute dick shit. Something was weird actually. So he used to always watch Friends and stuff. But then it got to the point where he started watching MMA, and it's like, you never watch MMA, you're only watching MMA because I watch MMA. But anyway, it was just, and also he didn't used to watch the bath mats until I started watching the bath mats. Where was I? Yeah, and he didn't even start watching the bathroom mats until I did it. So clearly he has no what's it on, like, when it comes to cleaning, otherwise, and fuck knows why I started watching UFC. I thought it was just fucking weird. But yeah, that is basically it for my kind of like horror flatmate story. It's not as extreme as other people. It's kind of sort of, mind you, I don't think anyone else has been locked out because the rent's gonna be a what. Like, even a fucking landlord isn't that fucking petty. It just pissed me off. Just, it gets me back to the thing where he asked me if I wanted to be on the what do you call it, on the I can't remember, but basically you're down as like the co renter as a thing, and I'm glad I didn't because he probably would have fucked off. So yeah, so I was right in that hand, but clearly wasn't right in the rest. But yeah, I'm kind of over it now. All I do is fucking laugh about it now because it's just whatever, and I have no idea what's happened to him. I don't know if he's been kicked out of his flat because I know after I'm gone, he's redecorating, so he's going to do the same thing all over again. But it depends if the landlord's going to do anything. But the landlord's fucking stupid anyway because he still haven't fixed the door entrance because the lock is broke. Someone broke it. But yeah, that is it for this video. So bye guys.